Welcome back. This is Skip File from Duke Nukem 3D Atomic Edition, going for the part-time, so playing it fast. Episode 2. We right away try to get the shotgun, and then we need to flip a switch, and somebody is in my way, so he needs to die. That is the consequence of getting in the way. I get a medical kit, and then he causes me damage that undoes the medical kit. Damn it. That makes it a total waste. Okay, we go down here, we pick up the blue key card, and the portable medkit is right there, so why wouldn't we take it? So we didn't even have to take the elevator because there was somebody standing there. That's nice. So we could use the key card and unlock this elevator. Now we need to blow up that thing and there flip the switch. The switch will uncover some buttons here. And I go on the other side because there were too many enemies in my way. Now you flip the middle two, and then we jump into the water. Push the button, and that gives us the key card and some health and a jetpack, so we fly back up. Go flying to where the red key card is used and get the hell out of the level. Next level. So again, just keep running. We need to flip that switch to open the passage. Now we're passing here a secret area with a medical kit, so I pick it up, that's good. Then we run for that switch, we don't kill anybody on the way. But as soon as we're through here, we do flip that switch. That will enable the barrier again. So all the enemies that we skipped cannot follow us. Now down here we have the yellow key card and we use it at the other side. And we do need to kill the enemies in there. I do believe so. I think it's necessary. There's a shooter and there's an asshole who's shooting as well. Well, one of them is a turret. The other one is an asshole. So now we can go to the button right here. And that opens the passage to the exit door, and then we can just exit. Just ignore all the enemies around us. Pretend they're friends. We're trying to kill you. Alright, so we take the elevator here down. There's one of the elevators. And we stand at the back, otherwise there's an explosion behind you. Now on the other side it's very important to push forward, because there are laser trip mines that appear, and you can actually see them. They appear after you pass, but if you just take your time, then they will appear before you have the chance to pass them. So here I just take the damage from those assholes, and I need to kill the trooper in here, because with 33% health I cannot just stand next to him in a transporter. So we go down for the health, because I don't want to die here before I manage to push the button. The middle button opens up the place where there is the yellow key card. You just pick it. That place will close itself soon afterwards. It's only open for a short time, but we grab it fast enough. So we go back. New enemies have spawned here, as it always happens. So we go to where the yellow key card is used. There is no battle lord here. He would be there if you go everywhere. But because we didn't, he doesn't get triggered to be spawned. So we flip that switch, which removes a barrier right here at the end of this blue area, and our health is absolutely fantastic. A whopping 21. But we don't have time to worry about our health. Fusion station. That is a level you can do really quickly. if you have a jetpack, but we start from scratch, so we don't. I used night vision so I can see the enemies better and get them out of my way, otherwise they might slow me down. Cannot have that. Now I shoot at these turrets to make sure they're not shooting at me. They don't have to die, they do die, but that is not necessary. It's just that they turn around and don't shoot me. These guys do have to die. Then we go in here. We need to shoot a switch, but while we're here we'll grab some ammo for our Ripper 2. We'll have to wait for the right moment to be able to get out of here when he's going up, and then get into the elevator. Some people are running along, so we greet them in our usual fashion. Here we go into the water. On both sides there is a switch that we need to flip, and that will remove the barrier for the outdoor here. And then we just go. There is another elevator here. A lot of elevators in this particular level. Here we have to shoot the button to make the platform come, and then shoot it again to get it back. Here we go in a little bit to have an explosion going on, and then we go back. So the explosion is done now. So then we can make it through again. He's just standing right in front of the door where I have to go through. So he needs to die. Next elevator, and we got close to this wall which also explodes. We need to kill the enemies because we flip a switch there, and it is a timed switch. We need to be quick enough to get out of it because it closes automatically. There's another button across that we need to shoot in order to make it across, and we have to wait for this pillar to go down, then we shoot it and it will blow up. We hide to avoid taking damage, but when it blows up it creates a hole that accesses the next elevator. Here we have to jump across, and you cannot make the full jump, but there is a little ledge here with atomic health and a jetpack. We disable the captains with the shrink ray, and we need to wait a little bit while this pillar comes up, but then we can hit the exit button. Here we need to start by pushing this button to open the access that was already open when we walked towards it. Weird. We need to kill a bunch of enemies, and in the big room that is next there are a lot of captains. They shoot rockets and that makes them really dangerous. Pick up an atomic health here. We still need to kill a lot of enemies to make it safe. If we could do it without killing these enemies, we would definitely save some more time. Now in the room we're going to pick up something we normally don't care about, and that is the Holo Duke, and we are going to use it to its full capacity. In fact, we tried to use it initially for those drones, those exploding metal boxes. That doesn't really do any good, or at least I don't think so. We also grab the RPG, which we definitely need in this level. The idea is that they are now going to my Holo Duke and not after me, but I have to switch it off later because I'm gonna need it to deal with some battle lords. First things first, we need the blue keycard, but the blue keycard is in a room with battle lords, and to access it you're gonna need a red keycard. And again, we have a bunch of exploding boxes. They do suck. I'm trying to get some health, and there is one there which definitely just came through the door. So they keep chasing me, even though I used the holo duke. It just didn't work for them. So now it's time to go for the red keycard, and there is a captain there too. I don't actually kill the captain, but we do need to get him off his ass. In other words, get him to move. Oh yeah. Now I did get a rocket to the face, which is definitely not what I want. I managed to miss that rocket. Not 100% successful. So we use the red keycard, and that guy definitely wants to die, or he will get in the way of my plan. The battle lords. Now they are coming. The question is, do they want to come all the way here? I put my holoduke there, and I want them to just go for the holoduke and keep shooting at it. Well, we see one of them is standing there. Actually, both of them are still there. Now they did walk through it, so it did help a little bit, but not completely. These guys probably need to die so that I can flip the switch. Maybe it's possible to flip the switch quick enough, but then they might chase you. The enemies here do need to die because we have to fight another 2 battle lords. So we are preparing for it. Push the switch, and then the battle lords will appear. I stand in a place that only one battle lord can actually hit me. That's the one I'm dealing with. And we kill both of them. That went pretty well. Then there is a button up there, and I want to shoot. I'm busy shooting a button. But no, somebody has to get in my way, and then you need to kill him. Cannot help that. So there is an opening now, and we jump to it, and that's the secret exit. So the spin cycle. There are 4 quadrants. Each one has a switch on the outside, and also the inside part has a switch or a button. You have to push all 8 buttons. The one on the outside unlocks the door for the one on the inside. One of them doesn't actually open, one of the doors doesn't open. But it's not locked anymore, so you can open it manually. If you do it for the first time, you might think that you did something wrong. That's not the case. Now when all the 4 buttons are pressed on the inside part, the whole thing will open up. And then we only need to go to the exit switch. There is a Battle Lord there, but we totally ignore him by entering the area where the switch is. So we don't have to face him. There it is. There's the switch. Exit it. So, Tiberian Station. There's a switch here that we need to flip to open the door. Now on both sides there's a switch that temporarily opens a little room, but we only use this one. And this one is where weapons are stored. Here we need to push quickly forward, because as soon as we are inside, laser trip mines will appear. We use the shrink ray against these enemies that will be in the way when I make my jump. I don't want to use a heavy weapon because that would blow up the bridge and I need to jump on top of the bridge. This is a very important part of my shortcut to avoid having to pick up the blue keycard. I blow up a hole in the wall and pick a jetpack there. Then I go underwater and there find the red keycard. Then I can fly up again back to where the red keycard is used. We shoot those exploding canisters, which opens a hole in that pillar in the middle, and then we can go through it. We totally ignore the Battle Lord. Here we do need to kill one enemy, but that's enough. Then we can exit the level. The Lunar Reactor. This level I play on the easiest difficulty instead of the normal difficulty, which I always use because I keep running out of ammo or other problems. I haven't been able to do this right. I pick up a laser trip mine. Why do I do that? Not because I'm gonna use it. The reason I pick it up is that later on I might run over a laser trip mine unintentionally, and I don't want it to be picked up and selected automatically. That would definitely get me killed. So in the bathroom we also found the blue key card, and that gives us access to the first part where we have to go in. And there is one of our big friends. So we go inside the ducts, the air ducts, to get a Devastator. We're gonna need it. Now we need to be careful to let him out. And down are a lot of these plants that try to eat you. And they sometimes come up, and that screws things up a lot. So we took a lot of damage. Luckily, inside this air duct is a atomic health. So here we pick up some more ammo and health, and we just drop down here, flip that switch so we can go through, and then we use the steroids to make sure that this jump is gonna be easy. The jump is possible without the steroids, but you can miss it, and I just wanna make sure. So this is one of the few times I use the steroids. Episode 2 is the episode where I use items that I normally don't use. Like in this case steroids, and in other cases the Holo Duke and the Vision, the Night Vision. I'm going up to get the boots, because otherwise the poisoned water will kill me. And I could have done that right away, so I could have done it a little faster. Get the red key card and go back. It is possible to blow a hole in the wall and then totally bypass the red key card. But I don't think that really makes things faster. There are a bunch of captains again, which we need to deal with. Now in this little vent there is an atomic helmet which you can pick up by just jumping on the edge. After using the yellow keycard, we again face a Battle Lord. We don't see it right here, but he's there, and I did kill him. So the next room. In this room we have to lower the protective layer on this pillar, and as soon as it's down we need to shoot it, and that proves to be a little bit tricky because the auto aiming makes it go to enemies. I don't want it to go there. I just want to shoot that pillar so I can get the hell out of there. The pillar does explode, and so you want to be out of the range of it. Finally I could hit it. That is such a waste of time. Alright. So now the door is open, there are a bunch of captains everywhere, of course. What else is new? Walls exploded. Again, not really new. And we can exit. Time for the dark side. Oh boy. That's a big level, and I want to skip the very first key card. To do that, we need to jump on this enemy so we can go over the wall. If you have a jetpack, you can do that too, but playing from scratch you wouldn't. So we definitely need the RPG too, and we're also gonna need a shrink ray, which we'll get in just a moment. I made the jump perfectly fine, and in here we have some health and armor. And here's the weapon. So we're almost ready, we just need the shrink ray, which is in a secret here. We call for the tram, kill the enemies, and then we can go into the secret and get the shrink ray. We need that for captains a little later. For the most part we're just running in, but some enemies need to die. Portable medkit here is also a very practical addition to our arsenal. But here we just run through. There's a switch, we need to flip that one. And while waiting for the whatever they are to come up, we get hit again. Here are a bunch of enemies we definitely need to take out. And the captain is already firing. Yeah, managed to avoid him. And there's one after that pole. He doesn't want to shrink, and he managed to hit me twice. He can fire these rockets so quickly. Alright, next step. pick up some ammo and open this door. Then we need to shoot the electrical thing, which will explode, and the floor comes up, so we can jump up here and pick the yellow key card, which is all we came here for. So now we can make our way back. We don't take the same route, we drop down and go to the air duct, where there is an atomic health, and then we make our way back with the tram in the same way. So then we can use the yellow key card and go for the next part. Which is the last part that you do with a tram. There are actually 3 of them, but we skipped the first one. I do pick up the atomic health, get out here in the secret, and the freeze thrower. I'm not even sure if I use it. Typically I don't use it. Okay, I have to call the tram. I might have been able to call it before I shoot the enemy. Now I'm holding a pipe bomb because I want to kill the troopers that are waiting for me. But I totally fail at it. I might have killed one of them, but all the others are still alive. It is definitely possible to kill all of them in one go. So we make our way to the outside area, and there is this contraption that closes on one side, and you have to open the other side. I'm not sure what that is called, so don't ask me. I'm walking around because I want all these droids to follow me, so while I'm waiting for the elevator they don't come to me and explode right in my face. I hate that. So now I can take the elevator up, and here is a switch we need to flip to remove a barrier behind which is another Overlord. We take the elevator down again, and we can deal with the Overlord. Try not to stand still, because there's still a bunch of droids flying around. Now there is a captain to our left where we need to go, so I want that thing dead. And then we can make it to the room with the monolith. I always kill the enemies right here, and maybe you can just ignore them. We go into the monolith, which transports us to this area. And we need to shoot a hole in the wall, but the enemies are getting in my way and blocking my whole shooting abilities. Trying to eat my face and stuff like that. Will you stop doing that? Finally, I shoot a hole and I can go through it to go to the next really weird secret. This is a really strange one because of how the map is constructed. If you go around the center area, you actually go around it twice, and it changes, and if you really examine it you can see what's going on. But we don't really care about it right now. We just need to shoot these 4 switches, and after that we can go in here and flip 1 more switch. Yeah, there is a battle lord that's shooting at us, but we don't really care about it. We just make it again another circle, which appears to be half a circle, and we get shrunk. This is because of the 4 switches. The 4 switches activate. We just go to the exit button and that's it. So, Overlord. Not too hard, but the beginning is a bit of a problem because of another battle lord. Yeah. I let him see me and go back. I want him to shoot the wall. That wall really needs to die. So now I can shoot him in the arm. So I can kill him without taking any damage from him. I have to blow stuff up. I take some damage, but that's okay. There are some metal kits there. And inside the wall is a portable med kit, and that's the reason why I blow up the wall. Otherwise I could have skipped that completely. So I have to run up all the way, because there is a switch that removes a barrier in the air duct. So now we can go in the air duct, jump off, and down there is the final room. We let the enemy out, and then we go on a small side area, go underwater and get the Jetpack and the Devastator. And then we're ready to take them on. We use the Jetpack while using the Devastator, but for the RPG that is not wise, because there is a too big a chance that you might hit the wall and then blow yourself up. He doesn't fire rockets when he's directly towards the wall, because it's too close, otherwise he would kill himself. But that doesn't help him anyway. He's dead anyway. Time for the normal exit variants of the levels that have a secret exit. They are played pretty much in the same way, but they are separate recordings, so I might use small differences in tactic. Enemies could behave a little bit different. You're always responding to what's going on. I do pick up the RPG, and that is necessary because of all these captains. The captains are a threat. They need to be taken care of. I will also pick up the Holoduke. And in this case I don't use them for the droids. The drones, I meant to say. I do close the door, but that doesn't help anything. They just open the doors again. And these doors are too big to use the trick to stand on the other side of the door. They're too thick. With thinner doors, you can just close the door and then he will explode because you're right next to him, but you don't take any damage because of the door that's in the way. I use that tactic a lot. Although not so much in under par attempts, because you typically just keep running. Now I kill him to be able to walk that way, and this explodes things and makes the captain go for me. Then I go on the other side, pick everything up and go away. I do think he managed to hit me, but that's okay, there was a help there. So now we have the red key and we can go for the blue key, which is in the room with the Battle Lords. Of course, this other guy needs to die first, because I have enough on my mind if I have to deal with 2 Battle Lords. They see me, they cause a lot of damage, but they are coming. I want them to go all the way there. Just go there. And they did. They went there. So now they're both shooting at my holo duke. Typically they actually hit each other and one of them eventually dies. You can actually see them battling it. Good. They deserve that. Now we have to flip a switch here. Anyway, we go to the other side, which is now open. We have to kill the enemies here because there are 2 more Battle Lords and we do have to kill those. I don't think I would survive it if I would pass them. You have to flip a switch right next to one of them. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We flip a switch on the right side of that column. That opens it up and there's the exit. That's the normal exit. It's very close to the secret exit. Dark side. A really big level and we have to do it twice. Because of the secret exit. Again, we jump on the guy. When I did it with the secret exit, it went like a charm in one jump. But now it doesn't. And as it usually goes, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Over and over again. Come on. What you waiting for? Christmas? Luckily there's some health here and armor. Luckily this time the jump went fine. Now we need a shrink ray here for the captains. This part is exactly the same as the situation where we used the secret exit. Because my health is so low, I use my medical kit right now. Because I'm gonna take some damage while I'm running through here. Well, actually not that much. Alright, so the rocket still managed to hit me even though I was around the corner. And I need to take care of the other enemies too. Alright, that one is dead. Now the other one. So we need to shoot that thing and the floor will come up. And then what we need to do is go up on the right, where there is a little piece of block sticking out. In the middle, you just cannot make that jump. I don't know how I managed to do this without any problems all the time, and this time I totally screw up. I think this attempt was earlier than the secret exit. So we use the yellow key so we can take the final tram, and of course we grab the atomic health. And all the other goodies. Again, we use a pipe bomb to take care of those troopers, and in this attempt it works a lot better. It just destroys all of them in one go. So we have to make it outside. I don't know if you actually need to kill these, because we're gonna close the door on them anyway. I'm sure there are still some seconds that can be shaved off. So we take the elevator up, so we can remove the barrier where the Overlord is. These guys do need to die because they are irritating me, and I got stuck there. But that's okay. It is a few seconds of delay. We'll have to accept that. This is a very big level. The shorter levels I typically play a lot more times to shave off every second. So we killed the Overlord, and now we have to make it to the monolith. We don't have to take care of all these drones. He was already dead, probably, when I threw that pipe bomb. Yeah. Yes, these captains are very, very dangerous with their rockets. So I pick up the medical kit here, and then I go to the monolith. And this time we just run for the water, go into it, and exit, and that's the end. So thanks for watching, hope to see you again next time.